Welcome everyone to Everydayman.net. I'm your host Cordero Hicks, and I'm here with my co-host Jay
Good evening.
and my co-host Kenneth. What's going on?
What up, though?
And we have an exciting show for you today. You can reach us at everydayman.net. If you have any emails or anything, you can reach us at everydaymanpod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at the Everydayman Podcast and on Facebook at you can find me on Facebook at Cordero Hicks. And we have, like I said, an exciting show for you today. Let's go ahead and jump right into the show. I don't know both y'all seen. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with it, but you see the Bill Cosby had a mistrial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I think they were saying like the jury was split or something like
Only
that, right?
because of one of the victims stated that he put his hands down her pants and that he drugged her and then he put his hands down his pants. He said it was consensual. She said it wasn't. And they're just going off of he say, she say, And this happened in 2014. This is an incident that happened in 2014.
Right.
So now they want to retrial it. I think it's silly. I mean, it's word against word. Does she have any proof? So I think a lot of that plays a part in, I guess their decision making.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, how do you prove that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's funny though. I was just like prepping for the show. I was just online looking at I think I was on CNN and I seen Joe Biden like made this speech to some college, and he was telling a young man, he was like, if a woman is drunk, he was saying like the woman is drunk and she's dead drunk, she can't give consent, and he said at that point you are raping her. Does the same thing apply when it comes to drugging? Because he did drug some women. He even said he gave them something.
Yeah, but he never stated. They never stated that he stated he drugged her. He only stated that they was consensual sex.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying it is documentation saying that he has given them drugs. So if you give a woman drugs, is that the same thing as her being drunk? Like, can you give consent high? Is that the same thing? You're not as conscious, not as aware.
But they can't approve it. I mean, they just going on what she say.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know about that one. What do you say? What do you say, Kevin?
I don't know either. I was just saying I don't know.
Yeah, because I know he like thanked the jury and all stuff. Because I mean, he's going to trial again. I mean, like you said, happened back 2014, and that's so recent. This man,
This recent. He kind of old then. Like, how old is this person? They didn't mention how old she was.
what you say?
I said Cosby like 140, right?
Yeah, he old. He old. His attorney coming out saying that he's concerned for his client well-being, for his health. Shit, if 100 women accuse me of rape, I feel sick to my stomach too. I'd be sick as hell. Trust me.
He need to be.
Yeah, how old was Bill Cosby in 2014?
Who was his right? That's what I say too. But who was his mentor coming up? Who started? Well, I don't know. Drugs was a big thing back then when he was coming up. So.
Right. You see, that's the thing. Everybody was doing them back then.
But 2004, he was up there in his age.
I mean, he wasn't getting down.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
She didn't give him drugs.
Does everybody look at Hugh Hefner like, oh?
That because he's nice and built, and he
is not nice and built. He's still old. He still look old.
He's built. He's chiseled very finely.
He's skinny and he's wrinkled.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's not.
But what it is, I think the fact that he's that what he is, Mr. Playboy himself. That's why he get a pass.
But you don't think that he's actually been sleeping with these women, right?
Oh, it's my Hugh Hefner.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking somebody else.
Oh,
thinking of Wolverine.
See that?
I don't think he is anymore.
That's Hugh Jackman. We talk about Hugh Hefner.
Oh, sorry, that's the first one that stuck in my mind.
What an insult!
Say huge, and I just
what an insult! Logan would not appreciate that.
He knows I'm sorry.
That's an insult, Jessica.
That really is.
I just heard huge, and that's the first thing that came in my mind.
God damn, this girl here. Wow, people not gonna like that when they hear this. They gonna be like, "What? What is she talking about?"
Back to the point. The point is, at Bill Cosby age in 2004, I'm pretty sure he was taking pills just to stay up and get up.
Hey.
So,
What you gotta do, man? Bill Cosby's getting busy. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, I mean, you think anything about it though. I don't want to sound like I'm victim blaming because I don't. That's not what I'm doing. But I mean, no, all I'm saying is like when a man has that kind of past and everybody in the entertainment industry knows about it, stay away from that person.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like for real, you should just stay away from him. I ain't see a whole
that goes
lot.
For anybody that got a bad reputation.
What you say?
That goes for anybody with a bad
Yeah,
reputation.
it's not just because he drugged these women. I mean, certain people want to hang around Justin Bieber because of his wild boy past. You don't want that stuff on you. You don't want nobody associating you with that.
Right, but you see now you see trying to do the straight and narrow. Now.
I see.
And you see a lot of them doing that though, and we about to shift real quick. I'm glad you brought that up, and because I didn't really want to talk about that Bill Cosby thing too much. I just seen it and I figured it'd be like a good jump off topic. But as far as that whole like clean up your image thing, but you see a lot of them pop stars are shifting back to being like strictly they straying away from like hip hop or
right. You saw Molly Cyrus said
right.
Trying to be more innocent.
Yeah, see now, and the thing is, don't blame our culture for you out here acting stupid. I mean, that's what she did. That's why I don't really appreciate. I didn't appreciate that at all. Don't do that. Don't.
Right, after you come and suck what you can get up out of it, and now you go back, and now you're like, this is what it had me doing. Like, nah.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden, you know, no, hell no. And the Katy Perry same way.
Right.
She look ridiculous. She looks so worn out.
Yeah, so they don't come to our side and be like, oh, you want to get on this side and you know make bank because we silly and we just accept everybody in our culture. Now
what's her name do it that's on The View? She did it and she bounced back pretty well. I mean, she's not doing that, but judging shows.
Who?
Gwen Stefani. She went into so-called hip hop culture for a little while. You know the problem? She get oh God. A little song she did. She did a few songs with like
but she was always more
Missy
like
Elliott.
Like I don't know. About
she was here, so it really don't matter. She really don't count.
I mean, I don't know about Gwen Stefani.
You know she was kind of pop?
I think she was like pop. I don't know because the song she was on wasn't really like Miley Cyrus actually on rap songs.
Right.
I don't really remember
like Mike Will executive produced one of her albums, I want to say.
That's what I'm saying. Like she was always around Mike Will. So of course he's strictly hip hop. Like he's mostly hip hop. So they get what they can get in, then they get out of it. But whatever. Another thing, run down real quick. I just seen. I don't know if you remember what's the shooting that happened in. Was it Minnesota where the cop shot the guy in the car when his fiance was
streamed it on
Facebook Live. You seen that he Philando Castillo, right?
Yep.
Did you see that the cop was found out guilty on all charges?
He was acquitted. He said he feared for his life.
And he should. He goddamn should. Because that man feared for his life in that damn car.
Check it out. No. I think you misunderstood me. He said he feared for his life. That's why he shot.
What?
Yeah, did you not catch that? He
could have shot him in the shoulder. He could have asked him to step out of the car I don't know. I just felt he could have handled that many different ways. That would have resulted in his life.
Right. I mean, and the thing about it is like, I don't see how you can even justify that.
How do you feel for your life? Did he see a gun?
No slapping
a
weapon.
Weapon?
He didn't lose it. I don't think he lost his job or anything. Like nothing happened to him.
It's sad. The justice system's sad.
That is, you know how far we didn't come just yet.
Right. He didn't. I don't know. She said he was reaching for his license. That's what I want to say, man. When he asks for your license and registration, man.
Well, have it out. Already have it taped to your car.
honestly though, and it's sad to say, because we got to adjust to them instead of adjusting to us, which that's the way it should be. Mm-hmm. They supposed to protect and protect and serve. That's what it used to be, right?
Yeah.
But now. No, that ain't how it is, and I can just speak from my recent situation. Like what I said the other night when I bent two of my rims of my car, which sucked. I could have sworn about 20 police officers drove right by me. None of them stopped to see what was wrong with me. I'm standing outside the car, and keep in mind, this night it was storming real bad at night too. like really, really bad. And there was a lot of wrecks and everything. And I had my caution lights on and everything. And you figure, I bet if they thought I was robbing a damn store, they would have stopped. But I guess I was like the middle of the parking lot, and my caution lights was on. I wasn't going nowhere. Ain't nobody, none of them stopped. They didn't stop, but I'm willing to bet you they was watching me. But it didn't. But it didn't stop. So there ain't no such thing as like the serve part, even the protect part, because there's so many of them killing people, and not only black people, they killing everybody. I just seen a video where one of them would choke some little white kid out in school. Like, it was unnecessary. Like it really was. I don't know what's going on. Me either. Like, but the fact.
Believe if the skin colors were, if Philando was white, it would have been a whole nother scenario. It wouldn't even went down like that.
It probably not. I mean, but then again, they get away with killing white people too these days. Like, really, nobody's safe. But what it really, skin color, I don't think really has nothing to do with it. I think it's.
I mean, like, you don't have to walk. He wouldn't have walked up on a white person in that car like with his gun drawn. Like, why? Why would you even be on that?
I don't know.
What gave the impression that he was on that?
Remember when the police officer killed a little young white guy? You remember he shot him?
He was coming out of a drug house, right?
Right. I mean, he only bought like a little bit of weed. That wasn't enough to lose your life over. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's about race anymore. I think it's about classism. It's about class. Now, if you rich and come out of a nice neighborhood, they may harass you. But once they find out, but if you're black, they may still harass you. They may not stop that. But when they notice you got money and you well connected, they're not gonna bother you too much. They may not like you.
Well groomed, or look like you're in a suit or like a business attire. But what about that guy that was speeding and a police officer stopped him for speeding? He said he was speeding because he was on his way to an interview and he needed his friend to tie his tie. That police officer helped him tie his tie and sent the Caucasian boy on his way to the interview.
Like I said, I mean, it all depends on who you get. Because I've had some asshole police officers, and I also had some really, really nice ones. So, I mean, one night I was speeding, going to work, and one of them had stopped me, and he charged me the least he can possibly charge me and let me go. I mean, ticket was like $80. I know I was hauling ass. So, I mean, so it all depends on which one you get. And it was late at night. He didn't know. I mean, my the tents on my car, they pretty dark. He didn't have his hand on his weapon or nothing. He was on my passenger side. I made sure I let all my windows down so you can make sure you can see in this goddamn car. Because my car is dark. I don't keep lights on it. So, I mean,
just like the cop that got us on. I don't know where we were going.
We was going to Charlotte. We was on the way to Charlotte that day. I remember.
He tried to argue with you about how fast you were going, but your speed was digital.
Yeah, I had a digital dashboard at the time. And I know we had got stopped, and we had on. And he profiled the hell of it. He did. He profiled us. He was just. I think we both had on basketball shorts, Kenneth, and he was like, "Asked what we going to play ball and stuff like."
The shorts.
Yeah, the shorts. Like, and what does got to do with you? Is either you'll give me a ticket. We stood there for a good minute arguing, and he didn't give me a warning or nothing.
Right.
He just let me go. He was. Right. Some white guy, he would try to give me his backstory. He was like, he just moved from some place, and he was on some things like, I think it's when Obama first got in office, and he was like, well, Obama don't like us, and I'm like,
who's us? Who's us?
He actually said that to just now.
Yeah, he said it. He's like, Obama don't like us, and I'm like, his mama's white, so I don't think he disliked white people. That would be stupid.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was. I remember. That's why I don't really argue with police no more. I was younger back then. It was. That's why you got to be careful. And like I say, it's sad that this guy got off. I don't really see how,
with
man.
Nothing.
But that I think one cop said that he didn't see where he was threatened. Like they stories didn't even match up. Like the other cop that was there, stories didn't match up at all. But for some reason, he still got off with nothing. You figure they give him something, right?
There's not for some reason. You already know how the system get down.
Yeah, so like I said, I just think it's about classism and stuff like that, man. Because racism, it exists, but in the bigger scheme of things, it don't even matter as much unless you got money. I know, remember when LeBron James' house was vandalized, and somebody wrote the word nigga on his house?
Right.
I mean, first of all, how the hell somebody was able to pull that off When you stay in, when you got a $20 million house, how somebody can walk up to your house for one?
Poor security.
No, somebody let that happen.
Yeah.
That's not supposed. That was an inside job. They ain't fooling nobody. So, like I say, even though he dealt with that, that would just. I think that was just strictly because of the NBA Finals. If it wasn't for that shit, that would never happen. That was just I think that was just something to throw his game off.
Exactly.
Which it didn't, because he still averaged a triple double. But whatever.
Right.
So it really didn't. But I think that wasn't a racism situation. I think that was more than that. But like I said,
did you hear what another black man said when that happened? Did you hear what Jason Whitlock said about that?
No, I didn't.
He said racism does not affect rich people.
That's not true. That's not true though. Actually, I mean, like I said, what my take on that is, it affects them, but it doesn't affect as much as it affects poor people, only because they're not untouchable, but they're less likely to be touched. And like I said, they may deal with it because you got some really, really racist people, cops out there. They may may not like black people or any minority, but like I was saying earlier, if you got money like that, they might not like somebody like LeBron James. He's black, but ain't too many cops who give him a hard time. You can be the most racist cop, you're not gonna give him a hard time. You just not, because you can't afford to, and that's just really what it come down to. But just like in Castille's case, where this average black man, he worked at the school, I believe. Everybody liked him. And, unfortunate things happened. And the thing about it, he died in front of everybody's eyes, too. And everybody, his daughter was in the back seat.
Trauma.
Everybody watched. That's something she got to deal with for the rest of her life. Mm-hmm. Her last memory of her daddy was him dying in the seat right in front of her. And what it does, the next generation, they're not going to want to trust cops. I think his mama came out was like, F the police. And people be like, don't say that, but you can't tell this woman how to feel. And in this moment, you got to give her that.
Expect her to feel.
Right, you got to give her that in that moment. I mean, it's not politically correct. It is not. Trust me, it is pretty much the wrong thing to say, because you never know when you're going to need the police. But in this moment, you got to give her that. I mean, because I know if that happened to one of my family members, and the cop got off, man, I'm going to feel that way about every police officer. I'm talking about police officers, security, TSA, UPS, everybody with a uniform, I'm going to be damn mad at.
No.
Postal workers, everybody.
Yeah, everybody got to get it.
Oh my God, you just being dramatic.
Everybody with a government job.
You just being dramatic.
Yeah, but it is, but I mean, like, I don't even know if she could sue. Because he got off. Can his fiance still sue? Can the family still sue? I mean, you never know, man. It's sad. It really is.
Yeah, it ain't fair though.
No, it really ain't. It really, really ain't. And right.
What do we do? Like, what do we tell them? Like, what do we tell other people? Like, he was doing everything right, and he still died. Still got shot and killed, and he did everything right.
Right.
What do we tell people?
Right.
It just makes you feel so defeated. It just keeps happening over and over again.
Put
it out there, you can keep seeing it over and over again.
It kind of does. I mean, I think, because I know you got people protesting, and I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about protesting, because I don't know, man. I think, we impatient now, and I think it takes so long to get results that, sometimes people don't even feel like wasting the energy to go to do it, So I think we create other outlets to try to get the message across, just like what we're doing right now. We're talking about on the podcast, Everydayman podcast. So if people listen, maybe they get involved or donate or do something. Like, if you want to help, you can always, I'm pretty sure there's sites out there where you can actually help or sign petitions or something. I'm pretty sure they're calling for this guy's job. There's no way that, because when it happened, that community came out, like everybody came out and supported him. What happened, and I think everybody's gonna be devastated. And the thing is, you as the cop, you can't walk around that city now. You got to go.
Right, you got to leave.
Like you got to go, man.
I mean, isn't he considered like high risk to other police officers? Other departments. Like, are they really willing to take somebody in like that? I mean, some of them, I'm pretty sure they praised him for it, or some of them they didn't, and they looked down on it.
But the thing is about that, you got to protect the shield, and you can't speak up against it. Even the black cops that didn't like it, even the white cops that didn't like what happened or thought he was wrong or guilty or made a bad decision, they can't speak up against him publicly. They can't, even though it would be the right thing to do. They can't do it. And I know that sucks. That's why I couldn't be a police officer, because I like to speak my mind at times, and what right is right and wrong is wrong. So, but prayers go out to the Steele family, his fiance and his daughter, who got to deal with this for the rest of her life. It's just crazy, and all these other things. There's crazy things going on in the world. Jay, I know me and you were talking about the fire that happened in, was it London?
London.
Was it London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting really bad. The protesters are taking it to the Capitol. They were banging on their doors.
But real quick, let's just get people who don't know, because you'd be surprised, like the people I be talking to, like I be telling what we talk about on the show, and I break on certain subjects that happen in the world that you figure everybody like would know about, but they don't.
Yeah.
So what happened? It was a fire in was it an apartment building?
Yes.
And a crazy fire. And how tall is the building?
Oh God!
Because there's a lot of stories.
I know it's more. I believe it's more than 72, more than 52 stories.
I don't know. It's a really, really tall building, man. And a lot of people died, right? A lot of people. I know, Jay, you would tell me like people throwing their kids out the window.
Yes. It was bad. There were people throwing their children out the window, hoping that
right,
that people will catch them. Let's see, the death right now I think is at 17 plus.
Oh, that honestly though, big as that building is, that's not bad. I mean, of course people die and that's sad, but a lot, man. That's Kenneth. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought when it was on fire, it could have been a lot worse.
A lot worse. I don't know how much worse to get. Unless it would have collapsed. If it would have collapsed, it would have been a lot worse.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like you say, you show it's on like 17 deaths.
As of right now, the toll is 17.
See, but I'm saying that's what he's saying. Like that's, man, it got to be at least 100 people staying there.
It was 120 apartments.
Oh,
and
man.
600 people lived in there.
Oh, man.
So, thankfully, a few people, a good bit of people still got out, considering that was 600 and the toll is only at 17 as of right now.
Yeah, they probably still haven't finished searching.
They still got to finish searching and look for bodies. Some bodies probably got burnt up very badly.
Mm-hmm.
You had a family, a mom and two parents of a girl and a guy that was engaged and living in the building with texting, and they posted their last text showing that they were telling their family members that they, goodbyes, and that they were going to heaven, that they couldn't get out, that the fire was surrounding them. So it's really bad. You got one lady, I think she heard her arm banging on the door for justice, for answers from Congress and the city. It's getting bad.
Oh, man.
What happened? Did they ever say how it started?
From what I read before, I thought that they said it was something about a refrigerator exploding. That's what I thought it said the first time I read by the story. But I may be wrong.
Somebody fact check that.
I don't know. I don't know how it's. That's sad. That's sad, man. I can't imagine. That's the dangerous thing about staying in those type of buildings. Because I know me and you talked about it, Jay, and I know your mama stayed.
She stayed all the way on the 14th floor, and there's 18 floors in my mother's building.
Yeah, so I mean, like if the fire started at the bottom.
Well, the fire started at the bottom. You can still think that I don't know what this building was made out of, but it was concrete. There is concrete in my mom's building, and sometimes concrete is a little bit harder to get through as far as fire wise, from my understanding. Like a building like this would just go up in flames. Like a building that we're staying now, because of what it's made out of, will go in flames. But this building was made in 1974.
I can jump and be fine.
You jump and be fine? That's fine. These people, they wasn't jumping.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
They was not jumping.
She was right.
About what?
Faulty refrigerator caused the fire.
That's what I thought I heard. There's something about a refrigerator combusting or exploding or whatever.
And I'm talking about that fire had to spread extremely fast
It
because they
it
couldn't
looked
try
like
to
it.
put it out in that one apartment first.
Mm-mm.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That must have been really cheap
But
material.
you know, that's not the only fire that claims some people's lives. There's a fire in I believe is Peru, Portugal,
like
Portuguese.
like the same thing that happened.
It's a wildfire, and it claimed the lives of like 6 people already. People that was trying to get away in their vehicles, and it burned them up in their vehicles.
What?
Yes, it's a fire out in Portugal, I
Wow.
believe, and it claimed the lives. So wildfire is real. People shouldn't litter. That's why they always so big on not littering, and they're like finding people.
Right. They you know, it just makes everything spread a whole lot faster.
If I'm correct, I believe they stated something about the fines are much higher in like high risk areas like that where
I thought
wildfire
it was
is
like
more common.
$1,000.
It's higher in other places. Like our fines ain't that much around here, but like in very
$1,000 for
dry
throwing something out the
areas,
window is pretty damn high.
in dry areas they are higher. Fines for littering is higher because of wildfire issue.
Mm. Oh man, that's prayers and goes out to those people in was it with London? Because they've been was it London? Because
They live in London.
London been shooting pretty bad.
Yeah,
lately.
London been having a lot of things going on.
London is actually not the place to be right now. From the explosion and the what they believe
The
to be shootings, what they believe to be terrorist attacks, and now this.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on the news for a lot of bad things lately. I don't know what they got going on over there. I don't know. I mean, you're pretty sure people gonna be coming out with these conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure they may be already on the web. I'm not gonna look into that because people did die. You know they out there, Kenneth. You know.
Right. I just saw one.
See that? I see they always out there. But one of the main stories I want to talk about, and I know me and Jay talked about it, I think a few weeks ago, and I want to talk about it on the show then, but it never came out. But I ran across it again because we have this this young woman, Michelle Carter, who was convicted of convincing her boyfriend to kill himself via text message. She was convicted of manslaughter. You hear anything about this?
I have not.
Well, good. This is crazy. I know Jay, I know me and you spoke on it.
Yeah.
Michelle Carter, this was like 2 years ago, I think. When this actually happened. She was 17 at the time when she convinced her then boyfriend, to kill himself, Conrad Roy III. He died in his truck in a Kmart parking lot. A lot of people, and this is a controversy. It's a lot of controversy behind this story because and I'm reading the comments. A lot of people saying that how can you convict somebody via text message? Is it a crime to convince somebody to kill themselves? And that's one of the main things I really want to talk about today. And how do y'all feel about this, man? Because you can get in trouble bullying over the internet. You can fall in love over the internet. That's real. You could bully somebody over the internet. That's real. And all the internet, all that is on Facebook and Twitter is texting digitally. That's all it is. So if convincing somebody to kill themselves and they do it through text message, that is real. Like everything we do have consequences. I just ran across a story of a guy over there in, I forgot the country, but he got sentenced to death for being blasphemous on Facebook. So,
What?
right, I didn't want to get into that, but I just figured tied into this story that I just brought up to make a point. So, what you text out is real. So, a lot of people were saying that no, she was just a kid, she shouldn't have did it. They shouldn't and the max she can get is 20 years. So I'm surprised, Ken, you hadn't heard anything about this.
No, but I heard something similar. Remember when I told you it couldn't come to me? That's what it was, right? A girl was catfishing a lot of different guys, and they actually gotten, I guess, engaged over the phone. So what she does, she's so sick, what she did was she used different voices, and she actually killed herself off which made this young man jump off a bridge and kill himself.
What? Wow.
Yeah, so when you said that, I was like, yeah, that sounds like the story that I was thinking about, but I couldn't remember it.
And that's crazy. That's crazy.
And now she's in jail. She got caught. She's locked up right now.
Right. So she's in jail. So you saying since that young lady is in jail, this one should go to jail too?
Yeah, she got to.
So
somebody got to be held accountable. All
right, but real quick before let me just read off some of the text messages that she text him, because what she should have done, and I don't know if this girl is crazy. I don't know if they try to play that card. I don't know what was going through her head. When somebody tell you they want to kill themselves, you figure you take that. That's one of the most serious things that somebody goes through personally. And just she texts him. She was telling him they talked at length about how he could kill himself with carbon monoxide. And she was like, if you emit it at 1300 ppm of it from 5 to 10 minutes, you will die within a half an hour. That's what she wrote him. And this is her boyfriend. She said, and on the day that he died, she said, you can't think about it. You just have to do it. You say you were going to do it. Like, I don't get it. Why aren't you?
Wow. So I guess she was kind of pushing him to see if he was just
bluffing. No, and I'm gonna tell you, they have another one. Oh man, let's see if I can pull this one back up, because this was crazy too. It was another one that I saw. He actually tried to get out the truck one time. He tried to get out the truck and he tried to get out. She talked him back in. He got out the truck. He was like coughing and stuff, and she convinced the boy to get back in the truck to finish killing himself. And she had texted a few friends, telling her friends that, I was on the phone with him when he died. I didn't want to tell him to get back in the truck. She incriminated herself. So she texting her friends, and their friends, they should have told on her. You can't. And she telling them that, I was on the phone with him when he died. I didn't want to tell him to get back in the truck. And now she want to sit up there crying. Nobody feels sorry for you at that point.
No.
So Jay, what you got to say about this?
How did they know each other? Were they
were boyfriend, girlfriend. That's his girlfriend, right?
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for her at all. I don't feel bad for her. You don't play with nobody's emotions. That's people's problem now. They feel like they could just do whatever they want and no consequences. So I don't feel bad for her at all.
Right. So
that's like somebody messing with a mentally ill person or a person with learning disabilities or something. I don't feel bad with you if they end up hurting themselves and you go down for it. Like, I don't feel bad for you at all. When people get to that mental state where they're not happy with themselves or not happy with whatever in life and they're in their low points, you don't kick them when they down. You try to help them.
Kick him. She was thumping the hell out of his ass. I sees Carter urged Roy to get back in his truck that was filled with toxic gas. I mean, how you live with yourself, convincing somebody to kill themselves? I mean, why didn't she tell an adult? Why she didn't tell a responsible adult that he was trying to do this? His parents, a school teacher, the police, anybody. I mean, she could have told and went to anybody, but yeah, she chose to do nothing. A lot of people saying, well, she it wasn't her fault. She didn't, physically do it herself. But other people are saying that, well, you don't have to physically do it. If you convince somebody to kill themselves, then you may be just as guilty at playing a part of it. Like somebody say, you see something, say something. She didn't say anything. Why didn't she go to his parents, a guidance counselor, a resource, somebody? They was in high school. She was 17 at the time. He was 18 at the time when this happened. And he died alone in his truck on the phone with her. And I don't know what she was saying to him while he was dying. She said she heard him die. She hurt him, and then went on her life like it was normal. That is not normal at all. What y'all got to say about it?
She don't deserve full punishment, but she deserves some punishment because most of that is like he got to be smart enough not to get back in the truck.
It's not that he's smart enough to. It all comes down to a mental thing. You don't know where he was at mentally.
Yeah, that too.
Right. I'm glad. That's what y'all say because I'm reading through some of these comments and some people's like, no, he shouldn't give it a max. Some people think she should get like 5 years and 3, like if she got good behavior. I see one woman said she was like, I'm gonna read off one comment. I'm gonna leave her name out. She said, "Wow, so if you tell me to kill myself multiple times and I do, is your fault? That's a messed up thinking. If he was suicidal, then he should have helped himself. That
When you're suicidal, you don't help yourself. That's why they have centers and rehab places for people like this because they have an imbalance."
Right, and this she said, or his parents should have. What she did was cruel, but being cruel isn't a crime.
Really? So people that beat the hell out of their kids and abuse animals, that's not a crime either. They should be set free.
Right, that just like what I was going and saying about cyberbullying. Bullying is a crime.
Yes,
so bullying is a crime. Then this should be a crime too, right?
Because like I see people like that.
So she bullied him into killing themselves. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because people that
she convinced him to do. If you got somebody that's weak minded, you can convince them to do a lot of stuff.
And that's not right. That's like convincing a child. Rapists that convince children into whatever, to mistreat them. That's like I say, that's like mistreating the elderly. This is somebody that's not in their right mind, and I think they should be held. Not maybe. Well, I don't know. I believe there should be a good punishment because this got to teach people a lesson. Unfortunately, they're gonna make an example of her ass, and I hope they do.
You're right. And somebody responded to her saying, "You would think that being the nurse, you know something about mental illness. I know where not to go if I have breathing issues." So, like I said, a lot of people are on both sides of it. If you read through the comments, you'll see a lot of stupid things. You'll see a lot of things, people, and I can see both sides of it. I mean, like you were saying, I know, Jay, you say like people have mental illness.
You know what? It would be different. I could see people making comments like that if the boy would have made it. If he was still alive. For him to speak his mind and speak his behalf of what he was thinking and why he allowed somebody to almost put himself, to almost kill himself. This boy's not alive. This boy's life is gone. And she helped in that process.
Right. I mean, because another, just like we were just speaking on, another person had commented saying, I hope they give her prison time and help her with her mental status. Now, what that is, I don't know. I have it. The articles I read it didn't mention her being mentally ill, but that's the card they always play to try to get.
Yeah, they do. To try to give you less time and all that stuff.
Right. And they don't do it for our people, but we're going to just leave it at that. She bullied him to do what he did rather than get him help. And that's just the human aspect of it. Why would you sit there and let somebody kill themselves?
Why? Were they really that unhappy? What made you think that death was the way out?
Right.
Was he locked in a cell somewhere and he couldn't get out and all he had was your phone to talk to you? I don't understand the purpose of her doing that.
I don't know, but all I know is he wasn't. I don't know how you be that depressed at 18. I don't know his mental status, but he had a truck and I ain't had no truck at 18. So he was doing better than us. So that's all I'm saying. I ain't have a car at 18 and he had a truck. So, but like I say, on back to get more serious though, it's sad. It's really sad. A life ended at an early age. You don't know what he could have became. But I think she really should have got us some help. And if anybody out there, and I know like this type of subject that people will have strong feelings about. But if you want to continue the conversation, you can email us at
everydaymanpod.
everydaymanpod@gmail.com. But I know Kid. What you say, Kid?
Go ahead.
I know you said something damn smart. But I know you got something you want to talk about. You seen the movie?
Right. The Belko Experiment, right?
Right. And Belko.
You want to do the review?
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about it. I seen it, but I didn't watch it.
I didn't know it was out yet.
Yeah, it was out. I don't think.
It came out September last year.
Mm.
Right. So,
Oh my God, it's been out that long?
Ed McLean, the director, produced by James Gunn. Y'all might know him from Thor. And, he's doing the Infinity Wars movies, and he did Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I like James Gunn.
Okay.
I like James Gunn movie.
It's starring John Gallagher Jr. He was in 10 Cloverfield Lane. He's not really well known, but Tony Goodwin, you know, the president from Scandal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One always kissing on Olivia Pope.
Right. Those are the two main guys. And essentially the movie is about, you know, these people, they work at the Belko Experiment. It's called Belko something. I don't remember. I think it's called Belko Industries is what they work at. It's little like in the middle of nowhere. Like, so one random day they come into work.
I heard it was like in Colombia somewhere.
Yeah.
Bogota, Colombia.
Location is like, who would want to work here? You know what I mean?
Think it was the money?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, everybody didn't have nice cars, though. Only person that had the nice cars was the Tony guy, the Tony Goodwin guy. He plays, his name is Barry. He plays Barry, and he's the COO. And the guy...
Of course he is. He's the president.
Right. The guy, John Gallagher, plays this guy named Mike. So they coming out, but everybody there, like I said, I don't know if it was the money or not, because everybody, you know, didn't have the nice cars. Because they made sure that they gave you a view of everybody, so you would feel away when certain things happen. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you saying they try to get you emotionally invested?
Right. See, they even show the people that really don't matter. Everybody's walking around and they giving a feel for everybody, like, oh, this person is overly happy, and you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that.
Mm.
Right. So. But backtrack a little bit. In the beginning, when it first starts, they see certain people leaving, and the COO is like, "Yo, why are they going home? Like, why are y'all sending them home?" And he's like, "Shut up and open your trunk." Like, he's like dismissive towards them and all that. But this is the COO he's talking to.
Mm.
Right. So I guess the days going by, you know, everybody's happy, whatnot. Mike is in a secret relationship that nobody really knows about with this woman that's barely divorced, and, you know, they show up their chemistry. And all of a sudden, a voice comes over the intercom like, you have 30 minutes to kill 2 people or you will suffer consequences.
What?
Right. Like, she's like, there's 80 of you. I want 2 of you dead in 30 minutes or there will be repercussions. And
I'm guessing nobody took that serious.
Absolutely not. One of those 80 people, everybody laughed. Except for Mike. Mike was like, you know, that's not normal. Like, ain't nobody got cell phones. Like, y'all not nervous? You know what I'm saying? So they call everybody down to the lobby. You know, people's like making jokes about it. Some people are nervous. But Barry is like, the COO is like, look, somebody just bothering us this morning. It's a game. Like, don't take it too serious. I'm going to go try to figure out what's going on. After they backtrack some more, after they've been locked in, because after that message, like the steel walls go up so you can't see out and you can't get out.
Wow.
So you're basically trapped.
So this...
And what happens... Go ahead.
No, so this movie is more of a... Is it more of... You say it was more like of just like to test human nature?
Exactly what it is.
Just to see what people do in certain situations?
My character... Okay, let me go. After the first couple people die, after the first 4 people die, they know it's not a game anymore. The COO goes up to the guy. He looks in the back of his head, and he's like... So they thought it was people getting sniped. But as I said, the building is locked up, and nobody has a gun, so that couldn't have been it. So he goes up to the back of his head, and his head is exploded from the inside. So in order to get the job, they had to put a tag in the back of your head.
To get the job? Like when the people first got hired in the job?
Yes. So what they told him it was for is Colombia. Y'all not from here. People get kidnapped here all the time. This is a tracking device that will find you no matter where you are. That was the sales pitch on it, but it really was a
I don't think I could take the job
you could easily put that in my arm.
I don't think I could take no job like that.
And
How much were they paying? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they didn't go into all detail about that, but was they well paid people?
I mean, like I said, the only one that was, I guess different floors made different money. You know what I mean? Like the different levels.
Oh.
Because like I said, the only one that was in a really nice car coming in was the COO. So I don't know how much they were really making. I don't know. It had to be good, though, for them to move all the way out there just for that job.
So the movie pretty much like I'm from what you're saying, I'm guessing it's more of like a fight to the finish type thing, like who could be the sole survivor of the experiment.
I'm getting there. Because I want to see what you two would do, right?
All right.
So once he says that, okay, their heads exposed from the inside, and Mike immediately knows, like, yo, it's the tags. They put these in us when we got hired. So he runs, gets a box cutter, he tries to cut it out. And the voice comes back on and says, you have 10 seconds to stop. You messing with the tag or we're going to detonate it.
Wow.
Right. So, because he was literally about to cut it out. See, Mike is the kind of guy that just goes against the grain. I'm pretty sure when you watch this movie, you're going to, and it's messed up to say, you're going to wish, and I'm about to spoil the end, you're going to wish that Mike dies. Because I felt that way. And it's hard, it's messed up to say, but once you watch the movie, you will understand why. Because he does everything to get himself killed.
Oh, he's one of those characters.
Right. I hate him. I really hate his character. I really hate his character. But the next time, it's a lot more crucial this time, right? So he says you have 2 hours to kill 30 people. And everybody's like, yo, how are we going to pull this off? So Barry, the COO, him and some other guys, they have a meeting, and he's like, you got kids. He's trying to play off people's need to make it out. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you have kids. You have small children. Don't you, like, I got a wife and kids. I don't know what they'll do without me. That's his reasoning for wanting to kill these people and get it over with.
Mm.
So the guard won't give them the keys to, get the weapons out, so they go torch it. And then they line them up. The way Barry does it is, anybody over 60, you stand over here. Like, anybody with kids under 18, you go over there. Right? We're not gonna try to kill people who have small children. But if you're over the age of 60, you get up against that wall. And then they realize, oh, this ain't gonna be enough. So they start randomly going through the crowd, like him, her, her, him, right. And okay, y'all seen Fruitvale Station, right?
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan's baby mother, she's in this movie. She don't have a major role, but she's in it. But she saves all these people he starts to kill a couple, but she hears all the commotion because she was hiding the whole time. I kind of forgot she was in the movie. Like, she was hiding that well.
Mm.
She flips the light switch and everybody runs, and it just turns into a bloodbath.
Right, because the movie looked kind of like, it looked gruesome.
It's a lot of blood, so if you don't like seeing blood, this movie is not for you.
Mm.
Yeah, but it turns into a bloodbath, and right when the woman that Mike is in a relationship with, right when she's about to kill one, he pleads for his life. And the voice comes on intercom and says, that was 29 kills. You failed. We got to kill 60.
Wow. Did they really do it?
Right. So he said we got to kill 31 more. So, yeah, all she had to do was just finish him off because she had to stab him twice. Then he pleads for his life. She's like, I'm not going to kill you. And as soon as that instant, you failed, it's 29 kills. We got to kill 30 plus.
Wow.
Then all of a sudden, his hands exploding everywhere. It's crazy.
Wow.
My question is, what would you do?
I got to get home to my family. My answer is simple as hell. I got to get home. Everybody's getting it.
That's what I said. I was told I'm not thinking right when I said that. I was told that that's not the right way to go. And I'm like, what's the right way in that situation?
Yeah, because
everything is right and wrong goes out the window at that point.
Because clearly you're not in control. So I got to get home. I'm married. I have a kid. I got to get home. That's just what that is.
Right. And I'm not not married at all, and I don't have kids. I still got to get home. So
everybody's going to get it. Everybody.
So I guess it just brings up a point where the first law of human is it really self-preservation? I think it is, because if you watch it, because after that, he's like, all right, now it's every man for themselves. Whoever got the most kills in the end wins. And that's when it's just like, all right, well, let's see what they do.
Right. So, I mean, like, and people say that what they wouldn't do, but I don't believe that at all. Of course, when that time come and it's your turn to die, it's me. I got to get home. You got to get home. One of us got to go. Nobody's going to be like, oh, I'll die in your spot. Not for coworkers, they're not. They're just and most people don't even like their coworkers anyway. Mm-hmm. So it'll be easy. It'll be easy for a lot of people to do
show
that.
Their true colors.
Right. Oh, that's how you really feel. You know what? I ain't never like you. I ain't never like you either. So you know, and that's simple. Like a lot of people want to be on the good side. Of course, people be like, well, I wouldn't do that. It's not morally right. At that point, everything I've learned up until that point goes out the window, except for how to survive.
Right, everything goes out the window.
So I got to get home. That is what it is. I'm killing everybody, young, old. I don't care if you're 60. I'm not separating. Everybody getting it. Everybody getting it.
Yeah, I was told I was being too harsh. So.
Nah, you weren't being harsh. What about you, Jay?
No, I
don't want to quiet. Don't be quiet now. Don't be quiet now. Don't be quiet now. What you got to say about this?
No, I don't want to put my opinions on this.
Why not? This is what we do. Is a podcast. We're talking. You can't say I don't want to talk about certain things. That's what we do.
I don't, because I have like a conscience and I have a heart and I believe in God and I don't want to like.
All right. Well,
she's Mike.
Well,
shut up.
Well, but check out though. Mike said the same exact thing you just said until the woman that he was madly in love with died.
Oh God!
That changed everything for him.
Well, my first thing is getting back home to my kids and trying to survive.
Well, clearly, Jay, you don't want to get home.
I do.
You don't want to get home to nobody.
I do with a clear conscience.
With a clear conscience?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
I'm not just gonna harm nobody that's not harming me.
What?
Because listen, you're not gonna leave. Like,
and they're blowing people's heads up. So, what are your options?
Try to dig it out first.
Dig what out?
The device.
They told you can't do that. They'll blow you up.
It will explode if you tamper with it.
Right. Well, you know which one of us going first.
Would you look at me the same if you know I killed somebody?
Yes, I would. It'll be fine.
That's how I knew the conversation would be interesting, because it's just always somebody that's like, I just can't do it, and then you'll be the first person to go.
I would do my
Actually,
best.
you know what the funny thing about though? Don't be the people who survive.
But that's what I said. But check this out. Remember the girl I just said that was hot in the whole movie? Literally hit the whole movie. As soon as she thought she was scot-free, the CEO shot her as soon as she stepped off the elevator.
But
right. So if that was, I mean.
So who is behind it? Spoiler alert. Who is behind it?
It's probably the type of movie where you don't even know.
Is it one of those movies they never show you, like, Kenneth, who was behind it?
See, and all right, this is supposed to be the major reveal. All right, so after Mike kills the CEO,
spoiler. Okay, for the people who don't want to know the ending, real quick. Hey, we about to go into. I don't know. He pretty much gave you the whole movie, but you can even tell that. You can tell that by the trailer, though. So
this movie ain't the type to have, like, because you can see what's going to happen. You can see by the build-up it's going to be these two left because they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Yeah, like, you can see that.
Yeah, and one of them is on the cover, so on a poster. So
exactly, you can pretty much see it. But what's supposed to be the twist, which really isn't a twist, because early in the movie he notices something that nobody's never been in. It's a hangar outside of the building that nobody ever goes into. But he saw one of the guards walk into it. So that kind of gives it away during the movie. So he kills him, and then the doors, the shields come down off the windows and the doors, and two guards come and drag him outside, and they bring him into the hangar, and he meets the person that's been exploding people's heads. Then he asks him a series of questions like, how do you feel? How has this experience been for you? Crazy, right?
Yeah, no, right? It's like, is it kind of like Neo meeting the guy who created the Matrix?
Right, but there's a scene I left out. Because some people heads shot and killed. There's a guy, you know, it's always in these scary movies, there's one guy that got to be the comic relief.
Right.
He took the bombs out of the people's head, and his plan was to blow a hole through the wall. Somehow Mike got the bombs, and he put them on all the guards. How? I do not know. They just went back and showed him slipping. I'm like, I didn't see all that when they was manhandling him. I didn't see him put the little bombs on everybody. So as the guy, like, Mike asking the guy that the voice, he's like, you've been watching us the whole time, so he's like, so you didn't see me pick up the bombs. So he pushes the guy out the way, and he flips all the switches, and they explode on the guys. And as he's leaving, the screen kind of goes back into the computer screen, and you see a bunch of little squares where the victor is walking out of each Belko experiment.
Oh, so it was happening a lot.
Yeah, and when I say a lot, I mean at least over 1,000 times.
Wow. So is this a Belko experiment or the Maze Runner?
Hey, it's the same premise almost, because I guess now they're going to take all of those survivors, because it's going to be another one.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Maze Runner. I don't think it'll be another one. I don't know how much money this made, but I don't think it made enough for part 2.
The budget was 5, they made 10.
Yeah, but is that enough to make 2?
Yeah, not really.
Is that not really enough to make a part 2?
It's gonna be low budget if they do it.
Right.
It's gonna be real low budget.
Probably straight to DVD.
It's gonna be a lot of computer graphics for the explosions and the blood or so.
The moments weren't good. Like, the moments weren't big enough for it to be box office.
Right. I mean, it's just one of those movies just to put out, just to make some money. That's all.
Yeah,
people love a good expense movie.
That's all it was. So, give it out of your 5 stars. What you give it out of 5?
The concept is a 5, but the movie is like a 3.
The movie's okay. Well, there you have it. That was Kenneth's review of the Belko Experiment, starring who? Who was the guy?
Starring?
Who was the main character? You said was the guy from Scandal. What's his name? I forgot.
Tony Goodwin.
Okay, and John Gallagher. I know I was gonna mess that name up. Names are not my thing. So give it a 3 out of 5. Like I said, if you want to go check out the Belko Experiment, it's 3 out of 5. I mean, that's in the middle. So I guess it's a toss up. If you like gruesome shit, go check it out. If you can't handle a lot of blood, you can tell from the trailer it's gonna be a lot of blood. I'm guessing the heads really blow up, not like that the Kingsman shit where they blow up and it's all colorful.
Nah, these heads really explode.
Yeah, so but yeah, you can go check that out. And with that, we gonna close the show, man. I sure appreciate that review because I hadn't seen it. I may go check it out now. I mean, it sounds interesting. I may go check it out.
The only thing is like I just kept questioning. How do these people know what names on these lists flip what switch to what person? You get it?
Mm.
Like, if I don't know that your name is Cordero and I flipped the wrong switch, I killed the wrong person. Like, how did they know that?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe it was just random.
Couldn't have been, because he called his name. He's like, Mike, if you don't stop, I'm going to blow your head off. I'm like, I'm going to explode your head if you don't quit.
Maybe they've been studying for a while.
I mean, it had to be.
You ain't going to no experiment without, doing your research, stuff like that, and knowing what they people do and who's capable of what. So,
some of them had, it was said in the movie, one guy was like, well, it wouldn't be fair if they turned into a bloodbath because some of us don't have military background. Right,
well, that only makes sense, but I sure appreciate the review, Kenneth. If you want to go check out the Belko Experiment, go ahead. If you want to let us know how it was or let him know how it was, you can email us at everydaymanpod@gmail.com. With that being said, any one of y'all got any closing words before we go?
Nothing. Just keep listening. Please just keep listening.
Jay?
I want to wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day. I know nobody mentioned it on the show. But I do want to wish everybody happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the world. I know we don't get much exposure like the women do, but we do what we can do. So, happy Father's Day to all. But with that being said, we can go ahead and get out of here. Please go check out our website at everydayman.net where you can find all of our audio. Hopefully video coming soon, man. Really, really soon. I'm working on it. You can find our audio also on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitchers. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and make sure you go to iTunes and give us some feedback or how many stars you think we deserve. Hopefully a good bit. And so we can move up in the rankings and try to expand and try to get us out there. And what you about to say, Kenneth?
I said one more thing. Speaking of things that people don't too much care about, the WNBA, Diana Taurasi just broke the record. She's now the leading scorer in WNBA history.
All right, nobody cares. So with that,
don't be a hater.
So with that being said,
Diana Taurasi, man.
Yeah, you can, like I said, you can find us on SoundCloud, on iTunes. Go to iTunes, please. Rate the show. Comment on the show. Give us some feedback so we can actually make it better. You can find me on Twitter at the Everydayman Podcast, or you can find me on Facebook at Cordero Hits. Like I said, please go to iTunes. We really, really need that support. And if you want to donate to the show, you can on everydayman.net. We have a donate button. All proceeds go to marketing and equipment and keeping the show free. Another thing, everybody shop on Amazon, me and Jay were just talking about how Amazon bought out Whole Foods.
That's right.
For $13.7 billion. See, Amazon is everywhere. With that being said, I know everybody shop on Amazon. So what you can do, you go to everydayman.net, scroll to the bottom of the page, click on our Amazon banner. You get the same low prices, but we just get a bit of a kickback. Everything that we do for the show is greatly appreciated. And thanks for the listeners. The listeners are going up, and we really do appreciate everybody listening and the people who actually support our show and listen to every episode, because the numbers are going up, and that's always a good feeling. So with that being said, we out. Everyday conversation for the everyday man. We out. Peace.